Hello Gemini, welcome to Providence. My name is KK and this is your general monthly reading for January 2020. Brand new start of a decade, brand new year. Here we all are. So thank you for joining me. Once again, this is for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs of Gemini. As well as cross watchers, everyone is most welcome here. And as always, please be reminded it is a general monthly reading and only to take what resonates with you and to leave the rest for somebody else out there in the collective. Just while we're finding the first message to start your monthly reading, I'll just quickly talk through some astrological events throughout the month of January. So in January 2020, we have all the planets moving in direct motion, which is great. There's nothing holding us back. There's no checking in on how we're doing. Everything is full steam ahead. On the 10th or 11th, depending where you are in the world, we have the full moon in Cancer. This is a time where challenges that you have been experiencing will end. It's also a time to deal with any family issues that you have been having over the last few months. It's also a great time to relocate, move house, move country, move jobs, that sort of energy. And it's also a beautiful time for meditation. If you are into that practice, you will find it particularly soothing and healing throughout the month of January. Then on the 12th of January, we have the Saturn-Pluto cycle begins. This is a cycle that's going to be with us all the way through the year. The last time this cycle happened was 38 years ago, so it is a very dominant cycle within 2020 for everybody. It will cause some imbalances of power and resources individually and globally. So watch this space. It's also a time of great rebellion because a new order is being brought in by the end of this cycle. Neither positive or negative. So we'll just have to wait and see how that all works out for everybody. Then on the 24th of January, we have the new moon in Aquarius. This is a time to think outside the box. Do not look back. It brings in progress in all sorts of areas of your life. You'll feel an urgency to let go of the past and move forward, which is a great energy to have as we move into February. So that is what is happening above us throughout the month of January. Now the first card out, I did hold it up to the screen, is Coyote Spirit. It is the number 16, if that resonates with anybody out there. And the message Coyote brings is trust in the divine detours. Gemini, which absolutely speaks about the twists and turns, the unexpected corners that we come across in life. There is a reason this is happening. Go with the flow is another, I guess, a good way of speaking about it. And we just about have the 4 cards symbolising the 4 weeks out of the month on the deck. We do now. I'll talk through those briefly and then we've got some clarifying cards to add to that. But remember, Coyote Spirit, trust in the divine detours. I'll just bring that up in the camera for you. So the Two of Swords in the first week of January. Now the Two of Swords speaks about some difficult decisions that you have to make, weighing up your options. Sometimes this energy comes in when you're procrastinating with making some decisions in your life. So keep that in mind and we'll absolutely get some clarifying cards to this in a second. In the second week of January here we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant speaks about tradition, about your value and belief systems, about conformity, also about institutions, the institution of education, the institution of religion or a spiritual institution. The Hierophant is essentially the Pope card. So it does control that sacred knowledge that comes with spiritual and religious beliefs. The third week in January is fabulous. We've got the Chariot. And the Chariot speaks about absolute sheer willpower, determination to succeed. This is a major, major action card. And you are in the driver's seat. You are back in control. With the Chariot, nothing is going to stand in your way obstacles you'll go around, over, up and over, under. However you can get there, great willpower and determination to succeed. And then we finish the month in the last week of January with the Knave of Swords, the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords brings in a message of new ideas. New ways of doing things is what the Page of Swords. So new ways of communicating, new ways of working. You have a bit of a thirst for knowledge at the moment when the Page of Swords turns up. So you're interested in learning better ways in doing things in your life, if that makes sense. So that's a great energy to have throughout the month of January. Look, we will get some clarifying cards here. But I think the whole of January is really dependent on this decision that you need to make very early on. And whatever this decision is. Let's find out a little bit more about this decision. Because the rest of it's quite action-orientated, or at least certainly with the Chariot there and with the Knave of Swords there in the final weeks. So some decisions to be made, Gemini. And let's get some clarifying cards on the deck for you. And remember Coyote Spirit's message of trust the divine detours. Trust that those little twists and turns in your plans are there for a reason. The universe wants you to walk down that street and turn that corner at that particular time for that to happen. That's what trusting the divine detour absolutely is speaking about. There we go. So we've got the Page of Wands clarifying the Two of Swords. We've got the Three of Swords clarifying the Hierophant. The Knight of Pentacles clarifying the Chariot. And the Knight of Cups clarifying the Knave of Swords, the Page of Swords. Well, that's certainly interesting. Let us get on with it. All right. We spoke about the Two of Swords being weighing up your options. Some difficult decision has to be made. And sometimes the reason why this decision is so difficult is because your options, there is no bad option, if that makes sense. And that's what's making it difficult. You don't know, if to take the red one or the blue one. There's nothing wrong with either option, but you have to make a choice. And that is what's making this a difficult decision to make. The Page of Wands here, so for those new to my channel, the pages for me are always the messengers of the tarot deck. They herald the arrival of the night with an offering from the King and the Queen, if you want to think about it like that. And the Page of Pentacles is bringing in this enthusiasm, this idea of exploration in your life, discovery. There is a longing at the moment to be a free spirit. So whatever that means for you, I think that is going to make this decision a little bit easier for you. You're certainly going to be enthused, and I feel that you're going to take the path less walked with this exploration and discovery energy sort of around you. So I'll let you make that decision right there with the Page of Wands. That's good. Now we've got the Three of Swords clarifying the Hierophant here. This is a bit curious. The Three of Swords speaks about some heartbreak, emotional pain, some grief. And with the clarifying here, the Hierophant, I feel absolutely that there's some heartbreak around, I really think it's around this decision. I think you're grieving some things you're going to have to let go to walk this different path in the new year. And I think that's why this is here. Look, there also could be, I know it's not the Emperor card, but I have the Hierophant, and in his conformity and tradition, I always sort of relate this also back to a family influence. In the idea of tradition and conformity. Perhaps this decision you make in the first week isn't going to go down so well with some people around you, your family, your partner, your friends. And I feel that you're feeling a little bit heartbroken about this. You need to walk your own path. Gemini, I think this isn't a long-term energy. I just think there's something, perhaps you're, as I said, perhaps you're choosing the path less walked. And there's something in your family. I don't think they disagree with you. I'm really picking up on an energy of they're really, really worried that you haven't made the right decision. You have to trust in yourself, Gemini, that you have made the right decision and walk this path, whatever decision that you choose. This is the energy I'm picking up. This is also happening during the full moon in Cancer, and also during the beginning of that Saturn-Pluto cycle. So energy, the power balance of energy is really prominent here at the moment. And as I also said with the full moon in Cancer, there is this energy around you sort of deal with any family issues as well. So I just think there is a family concern for you, you know, a parental concern that you're doing something a little bit left field here. And you're feeling a bit hurt that you're not being supported. They will come around. It's all right, Gemini. But that's how I'm feeling. You're going a little bit against the grain here. And it's all to do with this decision. We move into the third week of January here. We have the King of Pentacles clarifying the Chariot. As we spoke about, the Chariot is a major forward action momentum card. At speed. This is about you being in the driver's seat. This is about willpower and determination to succeed. Interestingly enough, you've got this major, as I said, forward momentum card here. And you've got the Knight of Pentacles here, who is the slowest moving knight in the tarot deck. But the reason he is the slowest moving knight is because he is methodical. The offering that the Knight of Pentacles brings, again, is hard work, focus, routine, is going to see the progress and productivity that you want. This is absolutely just clarifying this. Yes, you've got the willpower. Yes, you've got the determination. But you need to be focused and put in the hard work for this to succeed. Absolutely great. And here we have the Knight of Cups, clarifying the Page of Swords here. Now, I always call the Knight of Cups Prince Charming or Princess Charming, however you may want to think about it. The Knight of Cups brings in the offering of creativity, romance, charm, imagination, beauty. This is the cup that he brings you. And with this Page of Swords, opening up new ideas, new ways of doing things. I think for some of you out there, Gemini, if you are single and you are looking for love, I think you're absolutely going to be opened up to new ways about going about that. Perhaps it's going to be a case of getting off Tinder and finding some other avenues, some interest groups where you're going to be with like-minded people. This is the energy I'm picking up on here for those that are single and looking for love. The other, if you are happily partnered up or you're not interested in the realm of romance and love in your life at the moment, the other sort of interpretation of this would certainly be this Knight of Cups is someone you know, Gemini. It would be speaking about a Cancer, Scorpio or a Pisces. And they're kind of backing up this Page of Swords energy, which is you. But they're going to bring in this imagination and creativity into your life. And you're going to see, again, new ways, new ideas on how to do things. They're going to open up your imagination and creativity is what I'm trying to say. So I will leave that with you, depending where you are in your life. Now, if you're still with me, thank you very much. We're going to take 4 more Lenormand cards just for one more level of clarification, and then we'll finalise the reading with the final message from the Moonology Oracle. But if this reading is resonating with you, by all means give it a like. Feel free to leave a comment if you would like to. And if you haven't already, please consider clicking that subscribe button below the video, as I do have ongoing weekly and monthly readings for everybody. I always suggest with the monthly readings, it's a great idea to save them into a playlist, just because it's a lot of information to process and you can check in with that as the month goes along. Let's get into this quickly. These are great cards. I love them. I use them personally. They're very simple to read. Please don't freak out about the coffin. The coffin's really here to back up this Two of Swords. So the coffin is here clarifying the Two of Swords and the Page of Wands. As we said, an enthusiasm for exploration and discovery. Maybe to be a little bit of a free spirit and make this decision based on that. The coffin is absolutely suggesting here there's going to be some delay in making this decision. I think we already know that. That's why I said it's absolutely in direct relation to that. You can't avoid making this decision for too long. So yes, absolutely ponder on it for a few days. I don't think this is a new decision that you need to make, Gemini. I'm not feeling that. But you need to make it in this first week of January. And please be reminded of Coyote Spirit under here saying trust the divine detours. I think this is why this is a new path for you to walk. Yeah? Here we have the clover. The lucky clover clarifying the Hierophant and the Three of Swords. As I said, I think this heartache is just a little bit of grief that there is some concern about the decision that you have made from your loved ones. And it's coming from a right place. The clover kind of cancels out this heartache so much. As I said, I think you're just going to feel a bit disappointed and a bit, why aren't you supporting me? I think that energy is going to turn around really, really quickly. As I said, this is happening in this crazy second week of January. There's a lot going on with the full moon in Cancer and this Saturn-Pluto cycle happening. Whatever decision that you make, you're blessed with a lucky charm for it. Here we have the sickle or the scythe, however you want to view that. Clarifying the Chariot and the Knight of Pentacles. The sickle speaks about cutting things out of your life. And look, the Chariot, as we said, major action, moving forward, determination, willpower. And the Knight of Pentacles absolutely saying hard work and focus and routine is what is going to see you there. There's something, I think there's a distraction, I think, that you need to cut out to make this decision and this venture successful in your life. So have a really good think about that. This is also happening during that new moon in Aquarius where, as I said earlier on, there is an urgency to let go of your past and move forward. And maybe that's why the sickle is here, urging you to let go of the past. The past is the past. Move forward with great intention. Do not look back. And this is really interesting. This is the ship, and I love the ship. It's one of my favourite little cards. And it's clarifying the Page of Swords and this Knight of Cups. This ship is your ships coming in. I like to do this across the screen. Woo. Your ship's very early in the morning here. You'll have to excuse me. This is your ships coming in. So whether this is an offering of love, romance, or whether this is an offering of imagination and creativity, bringing in new ideas, new ways of doing things, your ships will come in. Whatever this new idea, this new way of doing things, it's going to work for you. Your ships are going to come in. It's absolutely great, Gemini. If you're still with me, thank you very much. We've got one final message for you. And once again, if you haven't already, please consider clicking that subscribe button below the video, as I do have ongoing weekly and monthly readings for everybody. All right, let's get the final message out here. Final message. Final message for Gemini. Should do these monthly readings more early in the morning, shouldn't I? And we have the full moon eclipse. And the message that the full moon eclipse brings is conclusions within reach. Conclusions are within reach. This again is this decision. All of January is based on this decision that you make very, very early in the month. But conclusions are within reach. I will leave you with that for the month, Gemini. I wish you a fabulous month ahead. I look forward to seeing you next month. And until then, from me to you, much love and light. Bye-bye.